Hey everybody, good Thursday morning. It's Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich. Update on Laura, which caused a lot of wind damage in parts of Louisiana. We might have gotten lucky with the storm surge, though it was still devastating in many coastal locations. It looks like the surge was closer to about 10 feet. The concern, though, and what really has been doing a lot of damage has been the wind. The wind damage has been quite extensive. It looks basically like a massive tornado coming through southwest Louisiana. And at this hour, it's still a hurricane, a minimal hurricane. And for folks in the Carolinas, well inland, we could see hurricane force winds, especially with a system this strong, basically all the way in northern Louisiana right now with winds of 75 miles per hour. So now we need to start focusing on what happens after it's inland here and eventually heads towards the Carolinas. Now, the good news, I guess, is that the track has really stayed pretty far to our north. So the center of the remnants are going to stay way up here in northern Virginia. But here's the thing. There's a cold front coming in at the same time, and the moisture streaming up ahead of this and the remnants combined with this front is going to produce a line of probably strong or severe thunderstorms on Saturday. So I do think we're going to see a line of pretty gusty thunderstorms moving through the area on Saturday. So here's a look at the track. This was the 11 a.m. advisory. You could still see a hurricane, 75 mile an hour winds, should weaken to a tropical storm later tonight over parts of Arkansas, then become a remnant low tropical depression, and actually becomes post-tropical in Kentucky, West Virginia. So this is a little deceiving. This track is to the north, but I'm going to show you how things will kind of unfold as the system moves across to the east. A couple things to point out. First, let's talk about the heavy rain threat. I'm going to show you the heavy rain outlook here. You can see the heavy rain threat moves through Tennessee and then into the Carolinas. Not much of a heavy rain threat. You could see there is a small threat, medium threat for flash flooding in the mountains primarily. That'll be the area we'll watch for potential flooding concerns. And really, that was the area we were watching last week, that if there was going to be heavy rain, it's going to be the mountains. Notice east of the mountains, not a big deal. But here's the thing we're really going to watch is the severe weather outlook. You can see that the severe weather outlook shows potential for severe weather along the track, but then watch what happens on Saturday. Even though the center may be up here, there's going to be a line of storms with the cold front. The cold front actually shows up pretty well in the outlook. You can see there's going to be a cold front right in here with the remnants of Laura up in this area somewhere pushing off to the east. So we're in that medium threat for flash flooding right now, and I would not be shocked to see that stay pretty widespread through Saturday. You see all the area in orange. And our primary concern here is going to be damaging straight line winds, but there would be somewhat of a tornado risk with this as well. So let me show you how this unfolds with the future cast. I'm going to pause it a couple times. We'll stop it right there. Here's tomorrow afternoon. You could see the low developing. That's the remnant low. And then notice the cold front up here near Omaha coming in. So watch as these kind of merge together here through Kentucky. Look at the heavy rain. Notice, Saturday morning, no big deal, no widespread heavy rain. But look at this line of storms that forms as the moisture gets squeezed ahead of the front. Right in here, I expect a pretty good line of showers and thunderstorms. And because there's both wind in the jet stream coming in and there's some residual wind energy here, any one of these storms could tap into some of that wind energy and produce damaging straight line winds, maybe even an isolated tornado. By 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, the timing could be somewhat key. The earlier in the day it happens, maybe the lesser the threat, but it's in and out pretty quick. By 9 o'clock, it's done. So you can see overall, that is not going to be an all-day rain. There's certainly no washout, but there's going to be a line of pretty good thunderstorms coming through here Saturday afternoon. Let me show you a little closer view because now I can zoom in. So I got some of the short range guidance here. I'll go through time and you can see the low. We'll go through tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to stop this midnight into 1 a.m. So pretty big cluster storms. The center of the remnants are going to be up here in Kentucky, but you can see that trailing batch of rain down to the south as we go into Saturday morning. I'll stop this about 6 a.m. This is when, if we're going to see heavy rain in the mountains, for folks in the mountains, it's going to be Saturday morning as that moisture moves. And remember, the flow is coming like this. So these south-facing and southwest-facing slopes in southwestern North Carolina probably have the highest risk of flash flooding. As you go north, that risk will be a little less. We go into the afternoon. You see the band of showers. See, it's not that huge of a deal, but embedded in these heavier downpours, again, the time frame is, around lunchtime to 2 a.m. or 2 p.m. So I'm thinking early afternoon, and that early afternoon timing moves out pretty quickly. And so by late afternoon, it's gone. So while yes, we're going to see some impacts, it's really not overwhelming impacts right now based on what we're seeing in the guidance. But I do think this line of storms is something to watch right there. And again, the timing, I would say anywhere from noon Saturday till 4 o'clock in the afternoon as it pushes off to the east. And again, probably more of a severe weather threat up here, but don't be surprised down here if we get a strong storm or two that moves through with this system. So we'll keep an eye on this this afternoon. I'll have updates throughout the day and going into the weekend. Not a huge impact because the storm is so far to our west and north, but with that cold front coming in, it's going to enhance our chance for a strong thunderstorm or two on Saturday.